The Monday M.A.S.S, an action sports podcast about nothing. The Monday M.A.S.S, an sports podcast about
and live on this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the world's greatest action sports podcast. It's called the Monday M.A.S S, folks. And I know that's redundant because Monday M.A.S S, Monday action sports show, but who cares, right? I mean, and we're actually recording this on a Tuesday anyway, because it was Memorial
We've
weekend.
discussed this at length of how you blew it with the labeling of the podcast back in 2017. I actually went back and saw the first time, because originally Monday M.A.S S was just you.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a 15-minute news update show, but then it morphed into an hour and a half of bullshit.
Did that get bloated?
From 15 minutes of concise action sports news to over an hour of us talking about stuff. But we are on Field TV now, so welcome, world, to the world of Monday M.A.S S. We welcome all of you to the world of Monday M.A.S S, and we couldn't do this podcast alone. There's no way. Like Todd said, I was a solo act, and nobody liked it. And then I made it a duo, and now everybody likes it, including our sponsors.
Let's go.
Made by Dentists at Made by Dentists. Y'all know how important dental health is?
Do you have teeth? Use this.
Yeah. You don't want to wind up like me later in life with all fake teeth and getting everything put back together. So use Made by Dentists. They are a company that stands behind all the things we do.
Does it work on
skating,
pets?
snowboarding? Does it work on pets? I don't know, but I know that dental care in pets is also very important. You know, because dogs can get plaque buildup. Cats need their teeth brushed every once in a while. But that's neither here nor there because we are sponsored by Made by Dentists. And we love and use all of their products. Made by Dentists. Sunbum at Sunbum. You know, down here in California, Southern California, Todd, or as Todd calls it, SoCal. He loves saying that. We've kind of escaped the whole May gray thing. We've had some really sunny afternoons. And you know what helps on sunny afternoons, Todd?
Nude sunbathing.
Sunbum. Especially if you're nude. Because if you're nude and sunbathing, Sunbum, a little bit goes a long way. You're going to need it. And we have it. And Todd's available to rub it on any body. Anybody's body. Turtlebox at Turtlebox. Look, I just moved my head a little bit. If you're listening on audio, let me describe what I'm doing. I'm moving my head to the side.
And right behind him is an orange speaker. It's about, I would say, that's a solid 9 inches of speaker.
Yeah, it kicks ass,
and
too.
It kicks ass, and you can, if your car stereo sucks, well, guess what? You bring one of those, you throw it in the front seat, and biggity bam, you've got a solid system in your car.
It kicks ass, and you can kick its ass. Because it's indestructible and it's waterproof. These speakers go hard in the paint. And I know what I'm talking about because I'm wearing a basketball hat. Do you know what the Knicks are?
Yep.
New York Knicks?
New York Knicks.
You know what's funny is, so I found, my son was MF Doom for Halloween a couple years ago. He had that silver, you know, the rapper with the mask.
Yes.
So he had got this Knicks hat for the costume. I found this hat in his room like a week or two ago. And I put it on, and I'm like, wow, this fits great. Now, I know nothing about basketball, but I did find out that the Knicks are in the finals. They'll be going up against either the Spurs or OKC, I believe.
Sports.
But the funny thing is now I wear this hat out and about, and everyone just assumes that I know what it is, and they ask me questions, and I just, like, nod. So that's a funny thing about wearing a sports hat.
I think it'd be cool.
You should know a little bit about the team. So yeah, I'm a Knicks fan now.
I feel like I don't know enough about just sports.
What do you want to know, Todd? I know something about
I just
sports.
feel like I'm probably missing out on a lot of interaction because I don't know enough about sports.
Like when you're palling around with the guys in the garage and somebody asks you, Todd, like, what do you think the Knicks' chances are of taking out the Spurs?
Right.
And Wembanyama? You just go, yeah.
I feel like if you let's say you're down, you're having your car work done,
Yeah.
Like maybe having your tires rotated and you go in, you're like,
you're talking to like a real man.
yeah, real man.
Yeah, I know some of those.
Covered in grease.
Yes.
And you're all, how about them nicks?
Yeah. And they go, huh, yeah, man, Bunsen is great. And you go, uh-huh.
Right? So I feel like maybe you could get yourself a discount.
By palling around and talking sports.
I feel like it happens.
Well, get yourself a sports hat. And like, people are stopping me in the supermarket and stop on the sidewalk. They're like, yeah, go Knicks, or I hate the Knicks. And I forget that I'm wearing this hat. So a sports hat can go a long way, folks. What were we talking about? Turtlebox?
Sponsors, yeah, Turtlebox.
Bachans Japanese barbecue sauce at Try Bachans.
Summer has started, Chris. It started on the 25th of May, which was the
Really?
Memorial Day weekend this past weekend, where we pay our respects to the men and women of the armed services for laying down their lives and starting summer.
Take my hat off to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was good. And back to kind of the sunbum thing is I feel I'm just the right amount of like bronze. Like I used enough sunblock. I didn't get burnt, but I still got a little bit of a base tan going. So I'm feeling good about myself. Speaking of feeling good, if you're in the area this Friday, we've got a rock and roll show for you. Rationale presents Sunbender and Family and Friends this Friday at Breakers in Encinitas. Todd's going to be there.
I'll be in Virginia Beach.
I hate you. Todd's not going to be there. Lame. Well, that just ruins the whole thing, huh?
Well, I mean, it's still like you can.
I was excited about it. I was excited to see you. I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to soak up my Todd time now.
Right.
It's a free show. It's all ages. It starts at 6 p.m. We've got DJ Chris Cantori, Ronnie Dudek from Years Around the Sun. Graham Nancaro is going to play a couple tunes. There's a Steve Sherman photo show. The GOAT Sherman is going to be there. We got tons of guests joining us. That's right. It's going to be awesome. We got TJ from Miniaturized. We got Chris Prescott coming in to play a song with us. We've got guests galore.
Well, Chris.
It's going to be sick.
Well, Chris, what I've got going on this weekend is I've got the Jackalope Fest going down in Virginia Beach, Virginia, on the sand. We did it last year. We're doing it again. I'm going to be there. We've got vertical skateboarding happening on Saturday, and we have street skateboarding happening on Sunday. If you can be there in person, that is awesome. It is truly one of the best things you can take in as far as a community-facing event.
Yeah.
But if you can't, you can tune into the webcast. I'm going to be doing the vert with Bob Burnquist and then the street with Jamie Rays on the beach.
Oh, wait, they have a pirate ship skate
There's a
park
pirate
on the
ship
beach, right?
skate park on the beach.
Come on. Yep.
And that's what we're doing this weekend. Virginia Beach, Virginia. I'm filming a commercial right now as we do the Monday M.A.S.S. That is how we do it. We burn the candle at both ends.
Hey, it's worthy of a double dip. Yeah, that's a basketball term.
See you there.
Double dip. It's when you dip twice. While we're talking about social media stuff, yesterday for some reason I had a big social media flare up.
What do you mean?
In a good way. So my friend Mariah actually started a new thing on the gram. It's called The Joy Report.
Okay.
So we talk about this a lot. How, when somebody passes away at a funeral and everyone says all these really nice things about that person, like how cool would that be to hear and say just in like normal on like a normal day? Well, that's what's going on right now with the Joy Report, and they were nice enough to do a little profile on me.
Wait a minute. So let me get this straight.
Okay.
So what they do is they do one of those like gratitude showers.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel weird?
No.
What if
it was
someone
really nice.
Okay, it's really cool, but what if someone came up to you and did that in your face?
Oh, it happens all the time. All the time. So here, you follow the Joy Report. So basically, it's just profiles of people. There's one on Isaiah Mitchell. This one says, Chris Coté is the definition of inspiration. He gives everything to the people, places, and sports he loves.
This is weird with you reading it.
I know. Well, I'm just telling you about it.
Okay.
So that came out on Monday. I didn't know anything about it, and that was super awesome to hear.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So maybe you'll get a Joy Report. If you're likable.
Gas up your friends.
Gas up your friends. Follow the Joy Report. Super cool. And then they dropped my episode of Talk to the Doctor.
That's
podcast.
right. This is a big Chris week.
How good I looked?
You look good.
The lighting and just the presentation of this podcast is excellent.
Yeah, it's not like this one.
Dude, I honestly, like, you probably know this, when you go on somebody's podcast, after it's over, an hour or whatever later, you kind of just have blacked out and you don't know what you talked about.
Yes.
But do you go back and rewatch it?
Sometimes if I feel like I said something that, if you black out kind of during a podcast, which is very common for us, and then you kind of think that maybe you said something poignant, and I'll go
something stupid,
or something really stupid.
Yeah,
I've done that a bunch. Like I'll go back and watch to make sure like it isn't too cringe.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, a lot of
not
people,
this podcast because I already know.
No, I have to watch this thing over and over because I'm the editor,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm also the co-host and co-star, and writer, producer.
What do I do?
You're the co-host
Okay.
and guest star and co-star.
You just said guest.
You're the guest
Star.
You're the guest editor.
So like when the credits roll, when the credits roll,
I'm on top.
You're on top.
Yeah. I'm a top.
All right.
We're on Fuel TV, like I just said, on Monday nights. You can actually find that on Prime Video.
Hey, shout
cool.
out to the editors over there at Fuel for chopping our podcast up, and we've been having some great traction with our subject matter that we can present to the audience and to each other.
Yeah,
I think we're
doing it.
We're gonna pivot a little bit in our to kind of like lean into that because I feel like the discourse and dialogue is great.
Well, he's right. It actually has inspired us to kind of think of things to talk about that could potentially be fun short videos.
Right.
We haven't thought of any yet, but if we do, I'm sure the editors at Fuel will find it. Todd, I went and saw American football, Midwest emo.
Oh my God!
On Friday night or Sunday night.
After, like, I don't want to say it. After Captain Jazz.
Okay.
Captain Jazz was the pinnacle.
Okay.
I feel like Captain Jazz was the pinnacle.
Yeah.
American football has one good song.
Well, the good news about that is
they played it over and over.
Yeah. It is the same song over and over, but luckily that's a good song.
Mm.
So I just wanted to keep you aware that I'm going out and doing stuff.
Okay, I think that's cool that you went and did that.
I went and did something. American football. It was great. Will I go again? I don't know.
We'll have in the nerd news. I feel like we have some pretty decent music news.
Oh, okay. We can put music news and nerd news, but right now it's surf news time. That's right. Surf news is brought to you by Hansen Surfboards at Hansen Surf. It's not just an epic brick and mortar surf and clothing and accessories shop. It's also an online shop. So you can go online and buy some surf stuff while supporting a literal physical operation.
Mm-hmm.
Started by the legendary Don Hansen. Rest in peace. Guy was an icon. And the shop is still there, family owned and operated. It rules. We love Hansen Surfboards. We're going to talk about the Corona Cero New Zealand Pro. But before we talk about the surfing, let's talk about what happened in the water to photographer Ed Sloan.
So,
jeez.
I mean, if you were watching, you saw this. I was tuned in. Yeah. Watching that heat. I mean, it was a big one. It was Italo versus Yago Dora.
Everybody's highly anticipating.
It was going to be a great heat. About 10 minutes in, all of a sudden, like at first there was no explanation. All of a sudden, Yago was on a ski and Italo was on a ski, and
their feet were out of the water.
They're blasting in, and I'm just like, what? And then it took a little bit for them to kind of explain what was going on.
Right.
Wildlife incident.
So here's what lifeguards said is it could have been a seal or a soft-mouthed shark. What's a soft-mouthed shark, Todd? And was that your nickname in high school? Hey!
Well,
what is a soft-mouthed shark?
I don't know. I just picture maybe like an older shark that's lost its teeth.
What is a soft-mouthed shark? And here we go. I can use ChatGPT to answer that.
Okay, never mind. I think it's better if we just make up what a soft-mouthed shark is.
I think a soft-mouthed shark is like it's a shark, but it's kind of like a little lazy, and it has not been using Made by Dentists.
Maybe that shark had been in prison, and the other prisoners said,
Oh God,
"Oh, you have a soft mouth for a shark."
if somebody tells you that you have a soft mouth, like on the sidewalk or something, you should run.
How
Like,
about
if they
them
come-
Knicks?
If they come right out and say, you got a soft mouth, you got to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not a good way to introduce yourself to anybody, let alone a water photographer. So
Especially-
anyway, there was a wildlife stoppage.
Yeah.
And during this wildlife stoppage, it was interesting because it looked like the waves just turned on and started to pump. Finals day was sick. This is exactly what we all wanted to see. Manu Bay going off. It really did look like a wave pool. It does look like the surf ranch left.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was super rad. And here's the breakdown.
You know, it actually turned out to be better. I feel like they waited.
Yeah.
Because that initial couple heats of the morning were lackluster.
Yeah. And I think everybody was a little bit worried, like, oh gosh, is this going to be the tone of finals day? Just slow, a little inconsistent. But yes, with that stoppage, it was like timeout was called.
Mm-hmm.
The waves started to fill in. And let's talk about Italo going berserker mode in the final against Morgan Siblick.
All right, well, let's talk for a second about, okay, Italo is
a machine.
He is a machine.
Yeah.
And he's obviously highly caffeinated.
Yes.
Okay, so when you're petting a cat and you pet the cat a little too much and the cat freaks out and tries to bite you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
There was a lot of air reverses.
Okay, so he did, I'm calling him Ilo. You think that nickname will stick?
Ilo?
Ilo.
Why?
I-L-O.
Oh, that's like his nickname?
I guess.
You should try that out when you get into El Salvador.
So he did 6 front side 360 airs on 2 waves in the finals. And he got 2 9s-ish. And it was not pretty. It was not pretty. I feel like a lot of these airs were forced, but functional. Half of them were more ollies, chop hops, frontside chop hops, which are not easy. The other few were legit frontside whips, like sick airs. But it just felt like
it's too much.
It's a lot.
You gotta look. Italo's incredible. We all agree that he's incredible.
He won that. It was very clear that he won that contest.
He won. But there's more in the arsenal. Like, why not just do a straight air? Why not
360?
Why not do like an alley-oop? I mean, maybe these waves didn't lend themselves to that, and I'm for sure an armchair surf bro at this point. But like, you're watching this happen, and it's coming from a competitive snowboarder, and I've competed in skateboarding. And if you seriously just went out there and did the same trick a whole bunch of times in one run, you're not gonna it's fatigue.
Yeah.
And that there's a reason that Yago's 100% totally rotated perfect air made that big of an impact.
Okay, tell me this.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, look, the judges, they got it right. They had to give those waves good scores because he ripped them to pieces. Okay, again, it was not pretty, but it was functional. But the feeling that you get, the feeling that I got when I saw Yago do the front 5, absolutely perfect. He did it at the beginning of the wave too, which is super risky and hard.
No slowing down, like straight into another turn.
Landing bolts. And just, it was so beautiful and it just felt so good. Now, I did not get that feeling watching Italo's waves in the finals, but I did get stoked and I did want to go surf, and he did his job. But I just feel like as a fan, I mean, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, the right call was made for winners and all that, but
here's food for thought.
Okay. Todd's got his eyes closed. It's just as he's saying
when I close my eyes,
there's something good's coming here.
When I close my eyes like this.
Yeah.
So I have this feeling that had Morgan gotten the opportunity for a wave,
Yes.
they would have awarded him like really high for it because it was different than you. If I was sitting there going, God, I wish someone would just like rip the living shit out of this wave.
Yeah.
Instead of like kind of just like doing like in between. We knew a whole bunch of reverses were going to happen. We knew it was going to happen with this one.
6.
He can't control himself.
Yeah.
But you just want that variety.
Well, it was, to me, and it was also, it reminded me almost a little bit more of like a skateboarding style line, just because it was like the rapid fire tricks, like a Vincent Alvarez or somebody like that who's just got quick feet and can just chuck those airs. I don't know if he had much of a choice in the airs that he could do, given the sections, given the wind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, as a surfer, you're reacting so fast that it's like, again, but he made it undeniable for the judges.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in anyone's mind that Italo's ability to land on his feet when others would explode is like, there is no one like him.
Now, do you feel like 2026, there seems to me to be a lack of style in the overall picture of the championship tour? It seems like most everyone is like they've taken style.
I believe you're dipping your toe in unk country right now. Be careful.
Well, okay, look at Yago's style, right?
Mm-hmm.
Silky smooth. Liam O'Brien, of course, Stephanie Gilmore, Katie Simmers. There are certain surfers on the CT that have beautiful style, and now the elegance of those styles are shining.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the people that are winning the events, but I think, for like a purist or someone who just wants to see good, beautiful surfing, it's like that's the heats you're going to watch. Because there's a lot of surfers that are just going out there and doing tricks.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm a fan of both. But I'm just wondering if style is as big a deal as it used to be.
Yeah, but like, I've seen it happen in snowboarding where the style part gets talked about after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we just see a stylish, and then it goes to the next event and everyone's just resets and it's back to status quo.
Yeah.
So it would be really cool if we kind of saw, if this is what the collective is talking about, is putting emphasis on that. And that is the flow portion of the wave, right?
Yeah.
Like of these competitions. So, we're coming into the Brazil leg, which is a lot more kind of cranky and fast and really, it creates people like Italo and Felipe, like very fast, very reactive surfing. But then El Salvador is after that, and it's a long
switch.
Excuse me.
Salvador first.
El Salvador is first, and it's more that lends itself to that flow criteria.
Yeah,
where you really get to see that on display.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe the wave height at Manu Bay, it wasn't like big enough for these goofy footers. Like watch what Yago did at Cloudbreak in the finals, right? Those big like carves. So I'm hoping that wave height is going to be a factor in El Salvador, because if it is, and Punta Rocas is firing like we've seen it, that's when style and power really shines through.
And I guess I should, button this up and say that maybe on these waves that are the big ticket point breaks, then you really, more emphasis is put on flow.
Yeah.
But and then that can play second fiddle to reactive surfing that would happen in Brazil or any of the beach breaks.
Yeah. I gotta give Italo a lot of credit in and out of the water. Out of the water, he did when he got his award, he did a speech talking about the women's winner, who was Carissa Moore.
Very smart.
Props to Sawblade, Sawyer Lindblad, who basically had Carissa beat all the way through the final. At the end of that, Carissa needed a high 8, and she just dropped that mom hammer and got herself a 9.40 buzzer beater. Everybody starts crying again. It's like Carissa brings the joy out of people when she wins. So it was like tears of joy all up and down the beach. She got chaired up the beach by her husband carrying her baby, which I don't. Is that an MBD?
For sure.
It's got to maybe be an MBD. Never been done. So Carissa Moore carrying the baby, chaired up the beach. Italo, on his way in, he did a claim where he was like this, like cradling a baby. And I think that was a double shout out to his baby and baby mama, as well as Carissa Moore. And in the speech from the stage, Italo was saying how hard it is to be a mom and just like how proud he was.
You know what that is?
What?
It's just trying not to get in trouble.
Yeah, well, maybe. But he was also, shouting out the GOAT, Carissa Moore.
I think I said this last year or 2 years ago when John won lowers.
What?
And it was, it was right after he had his son.
Right.
And I was like, it don't matter what John just won. That mom is handing him the baby as soon as he gets out of the water and saying, I need a break. Because that shit is so true. That no one gives a shit.
Being a mom is
that's very rough. And the dads that have these fun jobs, and the mom is the warrior who has to facilitate the taking care of said child at home while dad is at his fun job.
Dad's talking about surfing in Brazil right now, and surfing a bunch on off days and eating food and going to parties. Mom's home with the baby. And there, shout out to the stay-at-home dads out there too. I got a bunch of friends that are now stay-at-home dads, and that's not.
But there's also it's not, and also you have to deal with when mom comes home, and then what'd you do with dad all week? Just eat pizza?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah,
I loved it.
Fucking sick.
So here's your just update to Italo is now your tour leader for the men. Miguel Pupo second, Gabi third, Nyjah fourth. So it's a 4-headed Brazilian monster on top of the men's championship tour rankings. For the women, you've got Gabby Bryan in the lead. Luana, Molly, Lakey, Sawyer, Carissa is now 6th, rising fast.
Yes.
Todd, I've got a question for you. This is a big question, actually.
Okay, let's go.
So this kind of comes from the last, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks. The conversations that we've been having, the events we've been watching, and let's just stick to surfing for this one. Okay, my question is, what fuels progression? Okay, what is making people go out there and at all levels, from the best of the best down to Groms to everybody who's going out to try to get better at surfing or do something cool on their surfboard? So I got a couple options we can talk about here. What fuels progression? Wave pools and wave pool events like Stab High. Is that going to help fuel progression in the overall surfing landscape? Airs and heats, a la Yago's 540 in New Zealand. Is seeing that on your screen or in person going to inspire people to go out there and try these wild airs or turns, and it doesn't have to be just airs. Surfboard selection. Our conversation with the 2+1, where Todd so passionately told everybody he doesn't care what you ride. He just wants you to have fun. That actually sparked a lot of comments. So are surfboards going to be feeling progression? And lastly, I'm really unloading on y'all.
No, I'm listening.
Lastly, so I feel like in skateboarding, it's like you just do a better trick, right? It's like more stairs, like they're progressing kind of naturally, and it comes from watching videos. But does a video game like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which I believe fueled progression because it kind of showed you what could be possible, and the tricks that people are doing now are tricks that we thought were impossible when we were playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. But now people are doing those tricks. So
what's your
Stab High video, wave pools, Yago's 540, so airs and heats, alternative shapes, twin fins, etc. Video games. What do you think is going to what fuels progression right now?
To be completely honest, I think it's social media.
Social media is fueling progression in what way?
Because you can consume it the way that we were inspired to progress back in the day was the videos dropping. and people that had particularly good songs paired up with particularly good waves. Like, I can still picture like when Taylor Steele's videos would go to pit stops and they'd surf that
wave.
They'd surf that right in Indonesia, where it was like people were doing 2 airs on one wave. There was usually a really good song paired with that, or like Andy Irons' part to
Cut you up.
9 Inch Nails, or Cut You Up, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you have these parts and the songs, and I feel like social media now is taking that place in small snippets.
Right.
So you'll see, Huey Vaughn's stale fish backflip.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to watch the whole event, because that trick was shared over and over and over.
Social media, I feel like, is what is fueling progression at this point.
That is actually a really good answer, Todd, and it kind of encompasses everything that I just said. So Yago's air was the second it happened. I mean, that thing went around the world and back on everybody that I follow, all the Instagrams. I think that should have been like, so. You know what surfing needs? And maybe Monday M.A.S.S could actually do this. Surfing needs a quarter snacks top 10.
I think so. I think, there should be. I did see you had this, you had a question that was answered on Dave Prodan's show.
Yeah.
This morning.
Yes.
I believe it was this morning.
Lineup with Dave Prodan and special guests, Mitchell Salazar.
And the question that you submitted was, will there be an Air of the Year? And I really, truly believe and feel that they need to award that, because we don't have Surfer Pole awards anymore. There's no Trans World Rider Pole awards for snowboarding. Yes, there is the Hall of Fame for skateboarding.
Oh, there's the Monday M.A.S.S awards.
Well,
remember who got the Master Skater of the Year last year?
Yeah, well, that's Master Skater of the Year.
Well,
there'll
Master Boarder.
There'll be another Master Boarder.
The Master Boarder of the Year is any guy or girl on a board. Surfer, skater, snowboarder.
Yeah, it could just
Who's it going to be for 2026? You're going to have to wait till the end of the year to find out.
But yes, I think that there should be these, almost like bonus prizes for people. Like, maybe you're not going to win the title, but if you're going into the back half of the year and you know that you're not going to end up in any place that's going to make a difference in your life, that you can just start chucking.
Dude, okay, I'm gonna dedicate myself to this, and I need your help. So we actually were talking to Corner Pizza about doing a trick of the week kind of thing. We're still in talks. I did throw it out there to people on the Monday M.A.S.S Instagram. Send us your trick of the week, and I think I only got like one. So maybe it's
you sent it.
It was me doing a kickflip again. Maybe it's gonna kind of morph into a Monday M.A.S.S top 5. So Monday M.A.S.S top 5 tricks of the week, kind of like quarter snacks top 10, but top 5, because I'm busy. I don't have time to do 10, but I could probably do 5. So maybe we try that this week.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, we got a deal.
I have a question.
And lastly, is Yago's air the best air done this year?
I feel like Yago's, it's not just the air for me. It's the 2-hit combo of a perfectly snapped front 5, where you could see the board stick to his feet perfectly, landing bolts, no screwing of the feet in, no moving, straight into another trick.
Yeah, I think the air was so impressive that the combination he did afterwards was almost overshadowed. So I'm glad you brought that up. But
equally as important, because I feel like it's a line. He did a line,
so I think so. So Yaga's doing the best airs on tour by a mile. The one he had at Bell's, kind of that like perfectly done, Indy back 5.
Yeah, it was upside
back 3.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I think Griffin has it in him to do a wild air like he did last year. I just think we need to see it. All right, we need to see it.
Here's my question for this. This is my question for the week.
Okay.
How important is it to you to have the aesthetics of the equipment that you're riding on be on point? Like, when you look down at a surfboard, or you look down at a skateboard or a snowboard, how important is that board under your feet to your performance?
It's everything. Because when I used to be when I was a sponsored surfer, and I would get these incredible boards from Mark Pesh, right? And Pesh had a really cool logo. It was like an interlocking kind of P thing anyway. And so that logo would kind of be like down in the middle, and it looked so good. So I think I had at the time like 5 sponsor stickers I needed to put on there. Ezekiel was one of them, but it was a long like a rectangle, and that was kind of awkward on the nose. So I had to figure out ways to put the stickers on the board. And every once in a while, I'd put the stickers on the board weird, and it would ruin the board.
Mm-hmm.
Look down, and you're like, something's off here. And I know that I'm not the only one with this mania.
Oh yeah, no, it's a form of I feel like it's a form of autism in a way, because it's like, you know, awesomeism. It's if my grip tape is ripped up or dirty, I can't. If my snowboard sticker job is wrong, straight over.
I've seen you with your snowboard sticker jobs.
A surfboard, sometimes you get a surfboard that's has art on it or is just the wrong color, so in your mind's eye it looks too wide, and then it ruins everything.
Yeah. And there I love a really good surfer just on like a blank white board, because it's just, I don't know, it looks so nice. And I do like so that's our kind of thing. Like, I have mania about everything I ride, and it doesn't like like you said, if the grip tape, because sometimes you do grip tape and it's like off center or something, and it tweaks you out.
But then you have people
dirty wax. Like I got a brand new stretch board.
Mm-hmm.
First session, I was down here on the beach. I stepped in tar, and tar got on the front of the wax, and I couldn't even surf.
But then don't you like kind of feel like you admire the people that just run the sloppiest kit and they rip?
Yeah, but I also, when I'm watching, you know, if we're talking about surfing, when I'm watching like Italo's board that was blue and red and like crazy graphics, I didn't like it. I liked watching Italo on the whiteboard. You know, we had the stickers and all that, but first, it's just in my mind. You know, like there's just some boards, some airbrushes that I just
mm-hmm.
That's not for me.
You don't want to look down and be like, God damn, I'm riding a PT Cruiser.
I did put front traction on my stretch, and I needed to, you know, we are sponsored by Veia, and I have Veia traction on all my boards, but the stretch one was kind of presented to me by Nathan Fletcher, so I had to keep it real with the Astrodeck.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to find the specific Astrodeck front pad that they don't make anymore. So I went to Hansen's. My guy Lucas said, "Look, I'm gonna hook you up." So basically, I had to buy 2 Astrodeck Fletcher pads, tail pads, and I thought, I'm just gonna cut these up and make my own front traction.
How'd that work?
It looks like shit, but it rides. It feels great. But it does not look that great.
What's your opinion on tail pads on fish?
It's fine. Because sometimes, like, if your foot falls off the tail of your fish
into the V,
it hurts.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's like an old school fish. It's just going to look stupid.
No, like on a high performance fish.
Yeah, I think a tail pad's fine. I mean, I like a tail pad on everything except for, like, you know, like eggs. I don't have a tail pad on.
No.
Obviously, the log, I'm not going to have a tail pad on there. But pretty much like most short boards, I don't have a tail pad on my fish boards.
Do you ever think like, okay, so there's the tail traction that there hasn't been a lot of innovation done with tail pad traction over the years, right? Like I think the last time OAM did the air bubbles, which was just, you know, you might as well just sew a $5 bill onto the traction pad in the back. But since these tricks are now becoming more and more advanced in the pools, and I think about this in terms of way back in the day, back in the early or probably mid 80s, everyone started flipping their bolts upside down on their skateboards, and the theory behind that was to drag your front foot on an ollie and catch the front bolts and pull the board up.
Yeah.
Rip
your toes off?
Do you think that you will ever see a front traction that has a subtle bump in order to catch your front foot when?
Did you see Rygie was running that at Stab High?
He was.
Well, he basically took Astrodeck and flipped it, and he had
like this.
So he had the tail kick on the front of his board
to like so
and
he could scoop.
He did a video. He's like, "Am I gonna get like written off for this?"
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's innovation, and maybe that's a bit of an extreme.
I think for a wave pool though, it's cool.
Totally.
Because you're not gonna be like laying on it because it's up far on the board.
Yeah, and those guys when they do their airs, their feet go wide.
I'm holding up if you're listening and not watching, I'm holding up a Veia pad here, and basically there has been a few. I know that Chris Ward has a traction pad that has like an extreme kicktail,
like almost like a skateboard,
4 inches long and like 3 inches high,
like a lot of leverage,
a full kicktail, and he swears by it. When Wardo swears by something, I gotta pay attention. But I mean, I feel like, so again, looking at this pad, it's like, if it ain't broke, this to me is just
it's a nice flat pad. Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah. I forgot what your question was.
That's it. No, we just went there.
Okay, well, let's move on then. Skate News is brought to you by our friends at Pannikin Coffee and Tea at Pannikin Coffee and Tea. Available by subscription. That's right. Go to at Pannikin Coffee ANDT, and you can subscribe to Pannikin Coffee and get it delivered straight to your house. And I have right here. So every once in a while, I just get a hankering. And this is Todd's favorite drink. This is an iced mocha. And I have one.
It's like a donut in a cup.
Yeah. Skate News is, oh man, this is not good. So Nyjah. You remember Nyjah's slam from like a year ago? Fractured skull.
Yeah.
The worst, probably the worst slam we've ever seen. It has to be considered one of the worst skate slams ever. I'm not even going to put a video of it on screen because it's that awful. I don't want to relive it. Well, unfortunately, Nyjah landed in the hospital again.
No.
He hit his head again, and he's back in the hospital.
He hit his head again.
Yeah. So this is like a year after the worst slam ever. So sending our thoughts to Nyjah. At what point do you just have to like wear a helmet in the street?
Well, that's a great question. Would someone like Nyjah, who has the chops, who obviously has proved himself, if Nyjah has to wear a helmet in the streets now, is Nyjah now written off by skateboarding? Because skateboarding obviously is very much in the streets. If you're rocking a helmet, you're kind of written off.
Well,
but
not Andy Anderson. He's kind of made it his thing.
It is his thing, but I'm saying like someone like Nyjah, his reputation is the gnarliest of the gnarly, doing the big, doing the huge, doing the clean, having the biggest deals. If the doctor says to you, if you hit your head again, this is a life-changing event.
I mean, it's got to be at that point, right?
It has to be, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are on if suddenly someone like Nyjah has to wear a helmet. Will that open the door to other people maybe taking it a little bit more seriously?
Well,
or does it actually take someone like Nyjah literally hitting their head another time? Will it even make a difference?
I mean, if Nyjah comes back into the streets wearing a helmet, I think it will be a big deal. People will talk about it. I don't think people are going to like clown him or roast him because he's Nyjah.
Mm-hmm.
He can kind of do it. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants. But there is something to be said about this. So when I was the play-by-play announcer for Vans Park Series, they didn't say not to wear pads. Pads were optional. Nobody wore pads. Nobody wore helmets. After a couple gnarly slams, like Tony Hawk came on to announce, and he was kind of like, well, why wouldn't you just wear a helmet? And then some of the skaters and some of the conversation kind of came full circle and said, if these skaters, guys and girls, start wearing knee pads and helmets, the tricks are going to get bigger. They can skate harder, and everybody wins, except for the aesthetic element of it. Some people don't. There's an example. I watched this video of this. I think it was a skate team in Brazil. I want to say like Arto was there. I was on Thrasher, and a girl was skating, and she was doing like trying this like full pipe thing, and so she had knee pads and a helmet on, and then it came time to shoot the photo. She took her knee pads and helmet off. She slammed on the first one right onto her knees. It was gnarly, but then she pulled it. So again, the aesthetics there. She tries the trick a couple times, helmet and knee pads, makes it, and then takes off the helmet and knee pads and does it for the photo. It was interesting because you never see that in a video, right? Like the actual taking the helmet off to get the photo.
Yeah, I mean we've had this conversation a lot over the years within snowboarding as well, and like you go on the hill now, and if you're not wearing a helmet snowboarding, you are in the minority.
You're weird.
It's straight up, you're in the minority.
Well, you remember back in the day, and this, you want to talk sports, back in the day, hockey. A lot of guys on the hockey teams did not wear helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 70s, 80s. You know, obviously that changed, but it was just so, like, when the helmets started coming in, you'd see a couple outlier hockey players not wearing helmets, and you're like, this dude is gnarly.
Yeah, but it really comes down to like someone like Nyjah that TBI is, look, this is the deal. Like, you either wear this or you don't do this.
Yeah.
And if you do this, it's the ultimate, like, you are going to pay the ultimate price. And then at that point in time, you got to start. I'm not saying this is good, bad, wrong, right. It's just open for conversation, because at some point you have to start to look at this as, let's just say, for example, somebody, not Nyjah in particular, just somebody has had a lot of warning shots across their bow.
Right.
And then goes and whacks their head again. And now you are the liability of your family. Your family now has to take care of you for the rest of your life, and the warning signs were there. So it's just, I feel like these things don't get discussed enough. And I completely come at it from a point of view of like, look, skateboarding when I grew up was, I wore a helmet when I skated vert. I didn't wear a helmet anywhere else.
Yeah.
Snowboarding, up until this year, I didn't wear a helmet, but I wear a helmet now because I'm thinking in terms of things I'd like to do for the rest of my life.
Well, and also you're the co-host of the Monday M.A.S.S, so we need all of your brain power.
Well, arguably,
this is like barely enough.
It could get better.
As it is.
It could get better.
All right.
Anyway, that's
got, the guys I skate with on Friday mornings, about half of them are wearing helmets, and nobody gives a crap. Everyone's just skating. There's a new foundation video out that's super sick. It's called Today, Tomorrow, Forever. A full-length foundation video. Ruby Lily, absolutely ripping.
Yeah, she's new.
Austin Hillman, ripping, but you got to give it up to Beanwater. Beanwater is such a rad skater, super creative, and one of his enders, spoiler alert, the Encinitas Town Hall drop. So people have like ollied off it, Scheckler kickflipped off it, Ace Pelko rolled in off it. Beanwater had a totally different approach. He drops in 4 wheels down on the sign. Never been done. So vertical drop, 4 wheels down, and it makes it just perfect. One of the coolest tricks I've ever seen.
I know they've modified that spot to make it less skatable. I'm not going to say it's not still skatable, because there are people.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody, and this is my fantasy.
Okay.
I want to see somebody street plant in off the sign.
Ooh, gnarly. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
The challenge is out there, folks.
Like a solid street plant, like the people that did him really good back in the day, where both feet were on while they were upside down. Not like one of those where you just put your hand up and your feet meet the board when it hits the ground. I'm talking like plant, feet on, screwed in, and then they just fall over the over into the bank.
Meat plant.
It could. Andy Anderson, where are you?
Well, what about Santa Cruz, homie? Ho plant.
Oh my gosh, that would be a really good one.
God, when we start to try to remember names on this,
it'll come back to me in snowboard news. Ow.
Todd, you told me I needed to read a New York Times article about the Costco parking lot in LA, but I don't have a New York Times membership, so I couldn't read the article. Can you give me the crib notes about this article that you said I had to read?
Yeah, so there was an article yesterday. I'll tell you exactly what it was called. This article was...
I was looking through the text that we send each other, and there's some
quote unquote
on here.
At an LA Costco, skateboarding and learning about loss.
Yeah, I've skated this Costco, by the way.
So it basically was it was a pretty emotional, like, I would say it's like, you know those memes that say that at some point in your life you're gonna say goodbye to your friends for the last time.
Jeez.
Like they hit you with these, like, this at some, did you realize at one point in time that you would go home from playing with your friends and never play with your friends again?
God, you're making me cry.
But this is kind of like that, and they kind of do talk, but they say not now. not today. So
Not
it's basically
today.
about how important, you know, skating can be for people into their 40s, closer to their 50s, and how it brings people together. And I get really bummed when there are really great articles like this on New York Times and everything is behind a friggin' paywall, because I feel like there are
people at New York Times got to get paid too, Todd.
I realize that.
Just because the Monday M.A.S.S is free for everyone.
That's right.
Doesn't mean everything has to be
free for all. But this article in general was kind of just talking about the things. This is what keeps you young. It's like even us bantering, or me going surfing and sucking, or going snowboarding and only having a quarter of the tricks I used to, or doing whatever.
Still doing it.
It keeps you young, and I think that's the important part about this. Was you take the slams to stay alive.
I love that. Take the slams to stay alive. Directly contradicting what he was just saying about slamming.
Well, that's why I'm. Yes.
Thank you, Todd.
Do your best.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is cool. I want to say thank you to Balotelli and Julia for sending us the video of the bird doing a stick flip.
Stick flip?
Did you see there's a hawk? And I don't know if this hawk's name was Tony.
I think it was Mike.
But no, the hawk was literally like fingerboarding, doing it with a stick. So this is so much crossover, right? We love when animals are doing fun things like fingerboarding with a stick as a hawk. But also, there's a Tony Hawk pun in there. There's also official stick reviews with the stick. All things that I love. I love sticks. I love birds. I love kickflips. This video had everything. It's my favorite video of the week. And here it is. Again, I'm the editor. Waco Surf is going to get 2 skate parks by 2027.
You're
this
kidding.
Is sick. Okay,
That's not that long from now.
Our friends at Swatch Nines, right? So they've built skate features for the Swatch Nines Surf Weekend, and it's pro skaters there ripping. So basically, they're doing it again, but this time it's permanent. This time it's permanent.
So they're pouring Crete.
Yeah. So we got Himana Reynolds, an absolute ripper. He's going to help design the flow element of the main skate park. So if I'm correct here, okay, so Swatch Nines Surf and Skate is October 8th through 10th. Hope to be invited. Swatch Nines, both of us should be invited. If I'm to be correct here, there's going to be 2 skate parks and 2 wave pools at Waco now?
2 wave pools?
We talked about it a couple weeks ago that I think Waco's getting another wave pool.
Is that going to be open by then?
I don't know.
That's a lot of
2027. That's like right around the corner.
It's a big year.
Okay. Questions are brought to you by New Greens at New Greens. Drink your New Greens, take your pure prescription supplements, and live for as long as possible, as best as possible, as rad as you can be. Live like Todd. Drink New Greens. Look at this guy. He healed his freaking collarbone in like a month.
Oh, yeah. I'm surfing again.
Are you going to surf in Virginia Beach?
Ooh,
the wave pool?
I didn't even think about that. I need to.
It's a pretty good wave pool, Todd. Just stay on the beginner wave.
No, I'm not concerned about that. I've been surfing again full on.
I've been surfing again.
I'm
not a beginner.
But I'm just thinking, I'm on like a kind of a budget airline going out there.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm not sure about the whole board bag thing.
No, like these wave pools, all these wave pools, the newer ones, they have like a whole huge racks of surfboards. There's a board for you.
I can't do it.
You can't ride someone else's board.
I don't do well.
Bro. You need to
shut up.
Open your eyes.
You need to shut up.
Questions are brought to you by New Greens. Dustin Jones says, came across an ad for a sticker eyes that go on the bottom of your board as a shark deterrent. Think they work? Or do sharks attack you because you look like a no fear bro? Remember the no fear eyes? Okay, so I did a little bit of research on this one. Todd, let me just...
I've seen people with these on there.
Okay, so it's
this
like
is a big,
eyes.
like East Massachusetts, Cape Cod, where I surf in the summertime. The eyes are everywhere.
Okay. This idea comes from research showing that certain eye-like patterns can sometimes deter ambush predators. How sick is that term, ambush predator?
Well, you know, Chris,
you do not want that as a nickname.
You don't want to be known as the ambush predator.
No. Oh, here comes Todd, Mr. Ambush Predator.
What would be constituted as pro-bush?
What?
Never mind. In Cape Cod, they do say that when you are encountering wildlife,
Okay.
the wildlife,
Sharks, seals,
the submarine with teeth, what you should do, and it's counter to your instinct, is you paddle towards it, because you have gone from prey to you've taken
Predator.
You've become an aggressor.
Apex.
Maybe not
Alpha.
Alpha. I don't. Yeah. Well, it's basically you are either prey.
Yeah.
And if you turn and face the animal, because sharks are ambush predators.
This works at dive bars too.
Yes, you go towards the guy and you immediately strip off your clothes. But what they say to do is basically, you paddle towards the shark. But look, I'm not going to be the one. I'm not going to be the one that does that. The eyeballs I've seen on the bottom of surfboards. I also saw that the shark bands were tested very recently in a situation where they took the shark bands and they put the shark bands in and around food.
Okay.
To deter the sharks in a real life situation.
In the ocean.
Sharks did not give a rat's ass about the shark bands.
Well, a few studies suggest that highly visible patterns, including eye-like markings, may alter shark behavior in some situations. Other research found little or no clear evidence that eyes decals significantly. So, like most shark deterrent things, it might work, or it might not.
Or the stripes.
Shark behavior varies by species. I'm just still liking that ambush predator thing. Yeah, so we don't know. But by all means, see, that wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't bug me to have the eyes on the bottom of the board because I don't see the bottom of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Will I do it? Probably not.
It's kind of goony looking though. But what if they were like the eyes that used to be on those kites? Remember those kites with the eyeballs on there?
Those are cool.
Those are sick.
Brendan, a.k.a. Leisure Party, wants to know, why is watching goofy footers surf backside so much better than watching regular footers surf backside? That's an interesting question. I think, well, I know Brendan's a goofy footer, so that's got to be that's a huge thing. I don't know. I think when I watch videos of like Andy Irons flipped as a goofy footer, Slater flipped as a goofy footer, yeah, to me it looks better because I'm a goofy footer. But you're a regular footer, Todd. What do you think?
I think that question hurts my head.
Question hurts his head. Okay, so I think it's better if you're a goofy footer to watch goofy footers go backside than regular footers because you're a goofy footer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Sit with that thought for a little while. Adam Etzart says, super stoked to see magazines starting to resurface in action sports. Do you think it's a temporary surge or something that will continue to grow and stay? So from what I've seen, yeah, Surfer Magazine, they come out with a couple issues a year. There's a magazine called Youth Magazine, YUTH, and they are putting on events. They're releasing issues. They're gaining some momentum.
Slush Magazine, Torment Magazine,
Transworld Skate did a photo annual. Thrasher Magazine is thick as ever.
It's not just. I feel like it's not just with magazines. I feel like even in digital media, people are starting to want to have something to hold because at this point, everything is on a server. And if the server goes down, everything goes away and your access goes away. So it's like video games, music, movies, like people want to own that stuff again. I was just reading the other day about like the resurgence of the DVD and being able to have something in your hand and you're not relying on a service. And if that service goes down or if suddenly that service decides to jack the price up or decides to monetize in some way and stops your access to said thing.
Right.
So
vinyl records.
I'm cautiously optimistic that the return of physical media is beginning to take place.
Well, and that includes books. We talked last week about Dave Swift's All In book, which is super sick. These like the photographers that release books. It's just it feels so good to hold these things in your hand and look at them.
If you can't read, odds are that there's someone in the neighborhood that can.
There are not a lot of words in a lot of these photos.
They can read it to you.
I'll read it to you. Board Yak says, Morgan Siblick went on a Sunrun heater from day one and fantasy C tier. Who do you see doing that next? Steph doesn't count. She was C tier because of the time off. Okay, so we're talking about, let's just say in El Salvador. Who's going to come from the bottom of the rankings and kick some ass and make a big statement? Who's it going to be?
Bottom of the rankings.
Okay, bottom of the rankings. So we're talking about guys like, rookies. We're talking about, a Ramsey Bookham, Jordy Smith. I don't know if Jordy Smith is C tier. Let me pop up the Wasyl app. This is a fantasy surfing question. My fantasy surf team has been very up and down.
Leonardo Fioravanti.
He is not C tier.
Is a name that I would use had he been there.
So C tier.
Jack Robbo? You're talking bottom of the rankings.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Bottom of the rankings right now.
So who's at the bottom? Who's at the very bottom?
Okay, very bottom of the rankings, just with men. So Oscar Berry, Ramsey Bookham, Luke Thompson, Al Cleland, Eli Hanneman, Seth Moniz, Callum Robson, Zhao Chianca. Wow, Zhao Chianca is 27th. Jordy Smith's 28th.
I mean,
Mateus Turdy's 25th.
There's some heavy Baramamia.
Bro.
Cowley Voss.
Okay, so I'm going to say out of the bottom 10, I feel like Al Cleland is due.
Yeah, he is
big
due.
Result. So good.
I feel like Al would do really well in some big scary.
If Punta Roca is firing, Al could do it. He just needs that one, like,
you need to give your
momentum. You need to win your first heat with authority and build momentum.
Mm-hmm.
That's because without the elimination rounds, you cannot build momentum unless you win that first and second round. Okay. Hannah Lee says, if you were a CT surfer and there were a bunch of lay days, would you spend your whole time training or take a break and go sightseeing? Oh, yeah, I'm sightseeing.
Take a break.
I ain't training.
Did you see that that Matt Biolis took the Lost team to go to Hobbiton?
I saw that.
It's pretty cool.
A bunch of surfers went over to Hobbit Town in New Zealand.
It's not that far from Raglan. We went when we were there. It's pretty cool.
I thought that was on the South Island.
No.
It's on the North Island.
Yeah, it's on the way back to Auckland.
Interesting. Yeah, Hannah Lee, I pride myself on doing stuff.
There's a bunch of really cool places you can go. There's like caves with glowworms and waterfalls, and like this is all like in a stone's throw from Raglan. So
if you're fortunate enough to go somewhere for work, I mean, Todd and I are really lucky because we get to go cool places for work all the time. But I like to take advantage of it. Like in El Salvador, for example, I went on a state-sponsored like tour of the city. I saw everything. It was so cool, and like they told you the history of all these places. So it's 100% cool to be a nerdy tourist.
Mm-hmm.
I put myself in a nerdy tourist
I didn't do
all
it
the
enough
time.
when I was competing.
Yeah, you should.
Totally didn't do it enough.
Oh wait, there was a question from Mitchell Salazar as well.
Oh, really? Mitchell Salazar.
And wait, we got to Dustin Jones, right? Yeah, he asked the first question, didn't he? Yeah, that was about the Sharks.
Yes.
Mitchell Salazar sent a question, and it's
cool.
Here. It's right here. Sorry, guys.
Can't wait to see it.
It's pretty good because they answered our question. Okay, what's been the most iconic surfboard in the history of the sport? MR Twin Fin, Kelly's Channel Islands, others?
You mean in terms of model or in terms of what we visually think of?
So, like, this could be the overall package of the board. The most iconic surfboard in the history of surfing. Okay, so I did a trip. I curated and helped produce a trip with Red Bull called Red Bull Decades. 5 decades, 5 boards. Greg Knoll, longboard, the one that he surfed pipe on, that picture of him on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one. Jerry Lopez, lightning bolt board, pipeliner. A Martin Potter, the Saint twin fin. That's the green one with like the jagged logo on the top.
That? Yeah. Black Beauty.
No, the Kelly Slater, Al Merrick, 6'1" with the carbon fiber down the middle. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And then some newer boards. So those were kind of the decades that we did, and I feel like those were probably like the most iconic boards that I could think of.
The one that just jumps out to me is, I mean, it's this question could have a couple different layers to it.
Yeah.
You can either be talking about, like the 5.5, 19, 2 1/4 kind of thing, like where you're like on a model.
Yeah, and it's definitely personal preference.
Right. I'm like, to me, it's like Machado's Jimi Hendrix board.
Damn, that came out of left field. I'm going to say...
Remember that cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say my most iconic surfboard has to be the Kelly Slater Star Trunks board. He was riding at trestles, like it had like a arrow kind of with like multicolored rails. Like that board just like shines in my mind.
Or the polka dot ones. Remember the polka dot boards that Kelly had?
Yeah, Kelly's had actually quite a few.
I think Kelly's been really good about matching his boards to whatever, or he used to anyway. So like matching his boards to whatever was going on.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, you could start rattling off like so many iconic boards, but I like the Star Trunks board. Really, like that was just, it's just burned in my mind. Great question, Mitch.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, here we're gonna go mid-show ad break. Veia Supplies, Veia Supplies, incredible traction
Traction
bags,
board bags,
stuff.
Leashes, gloves.
Yes.
They got it all.
They do it all at a high level, and we are very fortunate to be aligned with Veia Supplies. Bubs Naturals, at Bubs Naturals. This is collagen. This is MCT brain oil. This is the stuff that you need. Again, survival, life hammers, and 10% of everything goes to the Bubs Foundation, which is super rad. Bubs Naturals. Vesyl Shipping at Vesyl app.
Ship it with Vesyl.
Yeah. If we didn't have Vesyl Shipping as a sponsor,
nothing would happen.
Nobody would get any stickers or any shirts, nothing. Because shipping stuff is a pain in the ass unless you ship with Vesyl. That's VESYLAPP. Spy Optic at Spy Optic. Did you cop some shades during the Memorial Day sale? You bought them online?
No, I copped some new shades though from them.
Where are they?
They're in my car.
Okay.
My favorite is I really like the Cyrus switch, like the one that you can pull the.
Oh yeah, you've been a big Cyrus switch.
They're just cool. I don't know. It's just I like them. They look kind of.
I like them.
You look like the Terminator. I like them.
Todd, can you give us a quote on Spy Optics? Like, give us some juice and just say I like them. Buy them. I like them. Pannikin Coffee and Tea. We talked about at Pannikin Coffee and Tea. Snow News is brought to you by Mint Tours at Mint Tours. Drum roll, please. I just got a message from our friends at Mint Tours. And Todd, you want to know what it says?
I do.
You should probably put this on your calendar.
All right.
Because Monday M.A.S.S week is January 10th. January 10th. Tour dates are open for Japan this year.
Book it.
This next year. And
it's the best time you will ever have with us.
And this is the deal. Everybody always says, like the week after we get back from our Mint tour of Japan, like, dude, I gotta go on that tour.
Now's your chance.
Well, guess what? If you don't sign up early, you ain't going, because all these tours will sell out, and it's not like they pack them in. It's a very intimate kind of deal. And you will get the best powder of your life. It's leisure powder.
We've got
El
Nino this year, dude. And what El Nino was about to do to Japan, oh my goodness gracious.
Yep.
Grab a hold of something.
Grab a hold of your board, your boots, your bindings, your helmet, your gear, and meet us in Japan.
Pack your board bag now. Pack it now.
Oh, so, I did see something. If you're like me, your snowboard stuff is probably still quite damp in your board bag in the closet.
This is a really good topic to cover.
So now that it's summer here, at least in North America,
take it out.
So give us a tip here.
So when you store your snowboard equipment for the summer, and as Chris was alluding to, chances are your snowboard equipment has been put away wet into the bag.
Yeah.
So what you want to do now, in anticipation of the next 5 months before it's time to even start thinking about it again, first you got to open that board bag up and get everything dry. You got to take those liners out of your boots. You got to leave them in the sun. You got to make sure those gloves are dry. You want to make sure that there's no places for mold to grow. You also want to make sure that your board's edges are dry as well, because you can get rust. And if you live in a climate that has salt in the air, a la here in Southern California or on the East Coast, you want to make sure that those edges are free of burrs, because that's where the rust tends to become.
Also, it's like post-season preparation.
Yeah, I mean, you want your equipment to last. Look, these days everything is expensive. You want your equipment to last. And
you also don't know what you potentially lost over the winter.
Right.
You could have lost a glove, and you don't want to wait till.
Also, this time of year is also great because we have what is called pants treasures, is where you go into the pockets of your pants and you find that $20 that you put in there back in April. You can have jacket treasures, pants treasures. There's treasures to be found. Go through your pockets. You never know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
And if you don't, odds of being a dead mouse in there snacking on the power bar that you had back in March,
that's true,
go up incrementally.
But if a stranger asks you to reach in their pants to find the treasure, run. Just like the soft mouth guy. Okay?
How about them Knicks?
Says, reach in my pants for a treasure.
And he says it in a pirate accent.
Hey, reach in my pants for a treasure.
I think that's a great topic to cover. Is, maybe even wax your board.
I got a shirt idea.
Throw some wax on your board, put it back in you dry everything out, then put your board bag away.
What about a shirt that says, reach in here for potential pants treasures, and there's 2 arrows pointing down to your pockets, and you just wear it, and you just look at people and you point to your shirt and you say, reach in here for. I'll be back to the drawing board.
Mammoth Mountain though is still open, so you still have a chance to go and get some.
Yeah, get some.
They're only going to be open to the end of this month. 31st is their closing day.
It's that time of the month again.
It's that time of the month. So get up to Mammoth and get some. And right when Mammoth closes, the summer sessions start up at Mount Hood. So it's going to be an abbreviated season because of how terrible the winter was. Things are accelerated as far as melt-off goes up at Mount Hood as well. So
yeah, it's a Breva season now.
Get it while you can get it.
Did you see what I just said?
A Breva season?
Cold sore season, sun blister season, whatever you want to call it. It's a Breva season somewhere.
It's a Breva season. And, we have the Southern Hemisphere coming up. Who knows? Who knows what?
Where's it going?
Well, it's
like shifting, like tectonic plates.
The season is starting.
So you're talking about snowboarding in New Zealand,
South America. We don't
Barbados.
know. We've been talking about this El Nino BS for so long. I want to see it in practice. What's going to happen?
Knicks in 6.
So that's my snowboard news.
Nerd news. Oh, sorry.
That's it.
Good job.
I want to hear about the nerd news.
Nerd news is presented by diecutstickers.com. That's diecut stickers, DOTCOM on the gram. You should follow them because everyone that I give stickers to, they go, wow, these stickers are great. And I go, we got great friends at diecutstickers.com. They can make your stickers. They can make any sticker you want. They're the best. We love them so much. Okay.
I want to hear this Mandalorian and Grogu review.
So Todd's a nerd.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, he hasn't seen this yet. And my friend Blair Alley, who is of Transworld Skateboarding fame, and he's an awesome photographer. He's a ripping skater, and he's a movie critic. And he went and saw the new, what's it called?
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Okay, so here is Blair Alley review on Mandalorian and Grogu.
All right, my Mandalorian and Grogu review.
What that?
The Monday M.A.S.S. Yeah, I saw this Friday, the day it came out, and I went to Hazard Center, which had D-Box seats, which they vibrate and move around. Not quite 4D, but almost there. So in some of the flying scenes, it actually felt like you're at a ride at Disneyland, which was awesome. And the movie's great. Yeah, I don't know what more to say without spoiling anything. But the theater, I think, had the darkness, had it turned down too dark. There's like a lot of the movies in the dark, and I don't think they had their brightness calibrated. So it was like dark, so maybe I'll go see it again. But yeah, lots of fighting scenes, great intro scene. Good story. I was kind of worried it was going to be kind of too Disney family friendly, but it wasn't. I mean, there's like all the stormtrooper killing and death you want. Yeah, it's action packed. It's really good. I would recommend D-Box seats. Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
Wow.
Right on, guys.
Peace. I didn't expect that. I didn't really know that Blair Alley was a Star Wars fan.
I wouldn't put him in like your category as Star Wars nerd, but he's like he likes to go to movies, and we were actually talking about this when we were skating on Friday. He was telling me about these D-box seats, and I've heard mixed reviews of that kind of experience. McKelly went to one with her kids where there's like mist spraying and it's like rattling, and she said it gave her a headache.
Do you remember in a Kentucky Fried Movie, you could go see a movie and feel around?
No. Explain.
Nope.
Okay. So
listen,
there's a review.
I'm gonna go see Mandalorian Grogu tonight. I'm gonna be
tonight.
That guy in the theater, solo mission. Also, what we have a new show dropped not very long ago, and I'm gonna highly recommend it to you.
Okay.
It's produced by the Duffler brothers that did Stranger Things. It's called The Burrows.
Okay, we watched episode 1.
Okay, so you gotta get through episode 1.
Okay. So this is about an old folks community.
It's Cocoon meets Steven Spielberg meets Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, you know what? I'm right there with you.
Do you remember that movie Super 8 that Steven Spielberg did?
Yes.
Okay, it definitely has Spielberg-y things.
I think your point of making it through the first episode, this is important, I think, with a lot of shows. Like the first episode, a lot of times, isn't the best episode.
Mm-mm.
The first episode is a slow burn.
Yeah.
So I think, if you quit after the first episode on some of these series, you might be doing yourself a disservice. You got to get through the first episode. Into the second and third is when things really start to kick off.
Also, in terms of the beginning of a show like this, because you can watch all of these shows, all of the Burrows at once. You can binge it.
Yeah.
I watched the finale of The Boys, the series finale.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I anticipate your review.
Okay.
I mean, when there's a finale.
I was setting something up for the next.
Oh, okay. Then your next show that you have, the next podcast.
I was listening to you, but I was also multitasking.
All I'm gonna say is that when you have shows like Game of Thrones, like Stranger Things, like The Boys that have gone on for years, and you've invested a lot of your time, you can't wait for the new season to come out, and then the show finally ends, it will never ever live up to what you expect it to.
Okay, so you're talking about the finale.
It's the boys in terms of Homelander and Butcher and Huey and all those characters is over. There is a new show that is coming out next year called Rising, which is so the universe still exists. This is a precursor show, but The Boys, as it is as the anchor series to this expanded universe, is over.
Say no more. Don't spoil it for me. Okay, I'm excited about
So what are you doing over there?
So we had Todd and I talked a little bit before about some new music that's come out. So this is going to be quick. We got to get out of here. This is super rad. So I could have done this in surf news, but Noah Dean, who has a band called Blistar, actually just dropped a solo song, and it's really good.
He sings?
It's like Noah Dean and a couple other people.
Huh. Not bad. If you didn't tell me that was Noah Dean, I would have known.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I think it goes somewhere good. It's Noah Dean and Russell W.
Doesn't sound bad.
Oh, I was hyped on it.
Also in music news,
I was stoked on that.
Quicksand just dropped another song, and out of nowhere, I completely forgot that Sparta has a new album coming out very shortly, and they dropped a new song last week too. I'm optimistic about new music right now.
Yeah, me too. We got Quicksand, we got Ice Age that just dropping a whole new record. You said Sparta.
It's a good time for rock.
A lot of people hate on Spotify, but it's like
it informs you of when shit's happening.
Yeah, I mean there's a thing on Spotify called Discover Weekly, and there's another thing called Release Radar. And I know like some people are going to hate me for saying this just because like, Spotify doesn't pay, blah, blah, blah. But it's a really easy way to find new music. That's it. Okay.
All right.
It's been a great show.
We'll see you guys next week.
If you're just watching us on Fuel TV, thank you so much for watching. And thanks to all the sponsors. And it's time for us to go, oh, I believe we have one more show until I go on the road. And then for the month of June, Monday M.A.S.S road shows. We'll see what happens there. Good luck to you.
Bye now.